Welcome to another thrilling episode of Crusty Old Comic Kooks. Yes, it's been a while. I am in a new apartment, as you can tell by the same old background you always see, and possibly the sound of my neighbor's dog barking. There he goes. All right, I am your host, Captain Buttcrack, and prepare to go on a thrilling adventure into the world of kooky old crusty comics, or crusty old kooky comics.
Hello, everybody. Hey, what's with the new look, Captain?
Well, I decided to jazz things up a bit because some commenter on YouTube kept saying I look like a chode. So I'm trying to look less like a chode with the classic comic book color scheme of green and purple. The Hulk, Lex Luthor, plenty of Marvel villains and DC comic book heroes and villains have this color scheme. So hopefully it looks less chody. Sound off in the comments if you think it looks more or less chody.
What's a chode? Is that like a chocolate toad?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'll go with that.
A chode sounds delicious. Can I eat a chode? I got the munchies real bad.
I'll tell you what, buddy. After the show, we'll have a talk. Today, we have a very special comic book show. We are taking a look at one of the comic book's forgotten oddities, Captain Marvel. Woo, woo.
Him?
Nope.
Him?
Nope.
This Captain Marvel?
Wrong again.
This one?
I'm gonna save you some time. It's not this one, or that one. It's this one! Look at this cover. Captain Marvel with the amazing power of split. A wacky robot with the power to split parts of his bodies apart, then recombine them. Why was this not more popular? Published by MF Enterprises, which I can only assume stands for Motherfucking Enterprises. These fools were just dying to get sued. Actually, MF Enterprises really stands for Myron Fass, whose wiki page is quite a wild ride. Buckle in for this guy, as is his shirt. Probably do a podcast on that shirt. He was an amazing and sleazy publisher that specialized in ripoff mags like Lunatic, the Mad Magazine ripoff. Actually, looks pretty good. Creepy ripoff horror mags like Weird, Terror Tales, Tales from the Tome, Horror Tales.
That's a real flat top Frankie.
Yes, he is. That actually might be the flattest, toppiest Frankenstein ever. He also specialized in Dirty Bird porno mags like Flick, Photo-Rama, UFO magazines, music magazines. This dude was the king of trend-based ripoff magazines, such as the incredible combo of Space Wars, not to be confused with Star Warp, not to be confused with Space Trek. Such an awesome thing to try to trick grandmas trying to buy their grandkids a magazine about Star Trek or Star Wars. This is just the tip of what the guy published. I gotta admire the sheer bulk of trash he put out. He also wore a gun to work and became paranoid and eventually got out of magazines and just opened a gun shop. So yeah, we need a documentary about Myron Fass real bad. Real bad. This guy is a character among characters. All right, enough about Myron. On with the show. Take a gander at this cover again. Such scary villains here. Tiny Man.
Did he fight Galactus?
Yes, I think he did, and I believe he won. Ha! What an unscary name for a villain. We also have Dr. Fate. No, the other Dr. Fate, who wears a terrifying, comfy sweater, Elastic Man, and Atom Jaw. This is a fun cover, though, and immediately tells you all you need to know. This dude can make his body come apart by yelling, split.
I I can too. Watch. Spliff. Abadoodie.
I think he says Zam to come back together. Still, that was impressive. All right, inside cover. The classic monster size monsters ad. You don't get a monster per se, but you do get a really nice poster of a monster and a big poster. So I don't think this one really is that big of a ripoff. Probably some dumb kids are like, I'm going to get a real Frankenstein. But they just got a poster. But that's on them. Okay, page 1, solid splash page, a flying punch, and Tiny Man with a normal size rock. And Captain Marvel using his time machine. Page 2, to go back in time, one must reverse sonic waves. All right, I'm sure that holds up under scientific scrutiny, which Captain Marvel does and goes back in time. Would have been nice to have a little summary of his powers or origin in issue 2, but alas, we do not. Something to do with the blue men of Venus, I believe. Well, it looks like our hero has randomly made it to 1849 and found some ruffians. Page 4. Then a mountain explodes. Things happen fast in this comic, and Captain Marvel saves some miners. And then page 5, strange goings-ons in the mountain. And CM uses his laser beam to cut into the rock and discover the nefarious duo Elastic Man and the terrifying Tiny Man. The fight is on. That this panel of his head flying to dodge the punch just sends me. As derpy as this is, it would be hard to fight a guy that could make any part of his body fly off. All right, enjoy some of this amazing art here. Tiny Man being held by a flying hand. All right, the trustworthy Marvel foolishly gives Tiny Man back, who's crying about being squeezed too hard. And then for his niceness, he gets blasted out of the mountain with a big old spoot. Spoot. All right, page 8. Elastic Man uses his powers to rob a gold miner of nuggets, but our watchful hero sees all. Page 9. Stealing clothes to go undercover as a native, Marvel stumbles upon Elastic Man's plan. Love this guy's face talking about the Lollapalooza. Hey, what's the rush all about? Clem Hammer's hiring a crew to work a claim. It's a Lollapalooza. You gonna join up, mister? I actually do enjoy this art quite a bit. All right, page 10. Okay, well, it didn't take long for Elastic Man to blow his cover, but he did. And Captain Marvel gets a big old pow. Our hero has only one option. He's gotta
Spit!
Whoa, don't spit that at me. Good God.
Abadoodie! Whoops, that's not as easy as it looks.
You are no Captain Marvel, sir. Anyway, back to the story. Captain Marvel's body parts are flying around all crazy. I especially love this panel where Elastic Man is using Captain Marvel's own arm to punch his head. I guess that's one of the dangers of having all your body parts flying around. Anyway, he starts to get weak and he has to rub his medallion. I guess that makes sense. Suddenly, his hand grips his head and pulls him from the spaceship. What happened? Where am I? My jaw hurts. Boy, I've said that before waking up after a fun Saturday night. Okay, I guess the miners have come back and then he returns to his own time. A little confusing there at the end. Probably more confusing for Captain Marvel. This is a cool ad. I haven't seen this one too many times. This is a comic scope. It projects comics, pics, and photos all huge. Very simple design, just made of cardboard. Put a light bulb in the top, a lens to look at the comic that shoots it out all big in the front onto a wall or whatever you want to shoot it at. It's actually a really cool idea, and I love the comic they're looking at. Is that The Adventures of Sadman? $1. Not bad. This would not be a ripoff. I would not consider this a ripoff. I would consider this amazing if you're a little kid. Next page, another lesser-known comic ad. Finally, a way to get rid of blackheads. I guess you can't just yell split and make them fly off your face. You have to get Richard Erstein's special rinse. Richard Erstein definitely looks like a beauty consultant. So please send away right away if you have blackheads. All right, new story. Inexplicably, just another story. No explanation as to why he's flying around or why it's a different anything. It's just another story suddenly. New story with a wackadoodle splash page. Look at this robot. This is a beauty. Okay, what is robot? Quick lesson on robots. A robot is a sophisticated machine that looks cool or at least complicated. Example, Johnny Five. A robot is a clunky, ridiculous machine that looks unintentionally hilarious. Like this robot here from Captain Marvel, or this robot from the Devil Girl from Mars. Robot comes from the frequent mispronunciation of old 50s and 60s sci-fi. For whatever reason, they call robots robots. All right, back to the story. Captain Marvel is just in this new place with no explanation how he got there, and now a different robot is giving him orders. I do like the crazy outline on the robot's word balloons. It's a cool visual idea. Oh, sorry. This actually is an android because it is in humanoid form. My mistake. Page 15. Ah, I see. He's in the future now, and he sees a strange human. Page 16. Even crazier, the man he talks to gets disappeared. Next page. Then the robots surround Captain Marvel, forcing him to... You'll never guess what Captain Marvel has to do.
Shit! Zop-Baroni!
Look out, MF Enterprises, a new hero is on the horizon. And here we have another ad for, this is a classic. Boys, men, I'll help you master Yubi Waza. Complete with the classic Chopsaki font. A whole martial art centered around the concept of using one finger to fight off attackers. I assume you put it up their butts. Also, it comes with an overcome inferiority complex, bashfulness, shyness, free gift. Can only assume that is a bottle of booze. What a deal! I guess there is a little bit of, I guess there are some Aikido finger locks called Yubiwaza, so it's not as made up as I thought it was actually. All right, page 19. Captain Marvel makes short work of the robots, and zam! His body flies back together. Just in time to find a super duper scurry robot. Now CM looks for a way to turn off the throbbing network control. But suddenly, the robot tells a sad story about humans about to destroy their world. So the robots had to take over. This is very prophetic. But Captain Marvel refuses to listen to the robot, and all the people on the planet turn into savage maniacs that try to kill each other. Whoops! And we end the story with a little warning about becoming too reliant on the machines. Wow. I hope this story comes true. All right, back to a new story, and Captain Marvel is splitting himself again, and a big blackout hits the north, so Captain Marvel's head flies around and tries to help people. I love when his head flies off on its own. Never not funny. Also, his hand hits the giant emergency blood supply button at the hospital. So I don't know how his hand can see, per se, but it seems to be able to. Okay, zam! Back together, and it's to the power station, where the strange glowing thing is detected. Next page. Turns out the blackout is the work of some super evil guy. But who? Tiny Man again? Cap follows a strange light to the ocean, and what? His body flies apart due to magnets. Clunk, clink, clunk, crunk. His head flies back, I think. Magnets? How does that work? A magnet by a mustached man has got all of CM's body parts, except his head, which is screaming, Zam! In the middle of the ocean, as one does. The magnet is released by the curious villain, and Captain Marvel is all together again. Close one. Turns out it's Dr. Fate in his terrifying sweater, who is a little too interested in all of Captain Marvel's gadgets. So Dr. Fate tries to buy Cap. I'll just buy this guy. But it's a no-sell, so he resorts to blackmail by zapping all the electricity from the world. And next page, Boxxy, do you need some little dolls?
I do! Do you have 100 baby dolls, nurse dolls, dancing dolls, foreign dolls, clown dolls, cowboy dolls, and bride dolls?
Oh, shoot. I am all out of the foreign dolls. This set actually is not a ripoff. You really do get 100 little dolls, and they are little. They're tiny man size. Okay, back to our story. Cap concedes to be examined by the mysterious machine, but heads out of there when things get screwy. And he tries to...
Tit! Zappanroni!
You okay there, buddy? This is looking kind of crazy.
I'm doing good. Real good. Been going through some stuff lately, but overall, I'm just fine.
Well, you look fine. You look great. All right, back to our story. Stuck in Saran Wrap, Marvel's schematics get downloaded. Captain Marvel's schematics get downloaded. But it's in the crazy language of the aliens that made him. There we go. There's our backstory. All right, page 34. I love this panel of the angry Dr. Fate's face. The art in this isn't half bad, actually. Would have been nice if the artist was credited, but that's not the Myron Fass way. I think it's Carl Burgos, the creator of the Human Torch, but I am not 100% on that. I cannot find info totally confirming that. Back to the story. After a quick medallion rub, Cap's hand flies off and crashes Dr. Fate's equipment. Fate makes for a quick escape, but is foiled by Cap's fingers? And that is the end of that. I do wonder, like, how tiny can he like take himself apart? Could he do like just the fingertips, just the fingernails? Could he get down to the atoms? Like, I must admit, as derpy as this hero is, it is a cool idea in its own way. It just doesn't look cool at all. And there's just one more story in this comic, and in the interest of time, I'll summarize it. Suddenly in a crazy place, derpy villain appears. Split! Body parts fly around. Pretty sick panel of Captain flying apart and hitting 3 dudes at once, though. That is cool. Villain is defeated. Poor Adam Jaw. How could a guy with a metal jaw ever lose a fight? Well, that's our show. And one of the wackiest and most lawsuit heroes ever made. Boxxy, what did you think of the show?
What a cool superhero and fun show. But it looks like it's all over. I'm gonna split! Hey kids, I'm okay. We're just having fun. Don't you worry about me. Now you stay in school and you listen to your parents and say your prayers at nights, okay? And don't you never, ever, 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 ever do drugs. Bye-bye now. See you next show.